Director Robert Wise masterfully executes the notion that what you don't see is far more frightening than what you can see in his chilling classic The Haunting, made in 1963. The film is a perfect example of the power of implied threat, a sophisticated ghost story with high-level cinematography, excellent set design, and memorable performances. Based on the novel The Haunting at Hill House by Shirley Jackson, the plot revolves around an anthropologist who has assembled a team of people who he thinks will prove whether or not the house is haunted. The past of the house would suggest that there is something wrong, but to what extent?
I think there's something going on in this house, or I wouldn't be here.
What?
Don't ask me to give a name to something which hasn't got a name. I don't know.
Julie Harris plays Eleanor, a somewhat sheltered and insecure girl with a skewed perspective on her life, the house, as well as her relationships with other characters. Harris perfectly conveys the process of a woman gradually having a mental breakdown brought forward by her surroundings.
I'm like a small creature swallowed whole by a monster. And the monster feels my tiny movements inside.
Claire Bloom plays Theodora, a supposed psychic. She is a creature of nature, often saying what she thinks regardless if it causes pain to someone, particularly Eleanor. Elegant and amusing, she is perhaps the best character in the film.
You really expect me to believe you're sane and the rest of the world is mad?
Well, why not? The world is full of inconsistencies, unnatural things. Nature's mistakes, they're called. You, for instance.
Russ Tamblyn plays Luke, the playboy skeptic. Perceived as a greedy, self-indulgent cynic, he gradually becomes more human as the story progresses. Richard Johnson plays Dr. Markway, a supernatural enthusiast who wishes to study and observe the house's rumoured paranormal occurrences. He is the rock of this expedition, perhaps sometimes too invested in his discoveries to realise the toll it has on Eleanor.
Unknown, that's the key word, unknown. When we become involved in a supernatural event, we're scared out of our wits just because it's unknown. The night cry of a child, face on the wall, knockings, bangings, what's that to be afraid of?
As for the house itself, Elliot Scott designs an intricate labyrinth that seems to pull you into its dark secrets. Brilliant low-angle shots make it look as though the house is leering at you. It's a feeling of always being watched, whether by statues or a design on the wall that vaguely looks like a face. Nowhere in the house feels safe.
Haven't you noticed how nothing in this house seems to move until you look away, and then you just catch something out of the corner of your eye?
Robert Wise leads us on a brilliantly unsettling journey which stands the test of time. I think much of it has to do with what you cannot see. Similar to that of Jaws in Less is More, the performances convey a sense of diving into the unknown, with consequences. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it if you're a fan of horror, specifically the haunted house kind.